shooting happened around 2:30 this afternoon at this home behind me, located on 14th Street and Pinnacle Pines Road in Springfield. Derek Thompson was found guilty for first-degree felony murder as well as robbery with a firearm today by the jury. That's a decision Chief Assistant State Attorney Larry Bassford says couldn't have gone any other way. A Lynn Haven family just put a new roof on their home and still making repairs after Hurricane Michael. But on Monday, they woke up to their home fully engulfed in flames, leaving nothing but charred wood and broken glass. When you walk down this street in the 1950s, restaurants, grocery stores, clubs, churches, and more lined the area. The African-American-based community called Glenwood was in its prime. The average teen spends about 9 hours a day surfing the web, and police say parents should be aware of what apps they have on their phones. A new technology in Panama City Beach is freeing up hands, time, and energy while also continuing to save lives. Trucks left on scene have Alabama tags, but the trailers attached to them are tagged Bay County, Florida. Now, I also spoke with neighbors, and they say the homeowner has not been living in this home since Hurricane Michael due to damage. I'm at Rustic Sands Campgrounds located on 15th Street here in Mexico Beach. We arrived on scene around 11:30 this morning, and investigators just finished up their work on this road behind me about 30 minutes ago. Now, I spoke with a lot of residents, and they say this area is normally very quiet and family friendly.
The police have been going through all morning, like every 15 minutes, so I knew they were looking for somebody.
A search that started in Franklin County ended in Mexico Beach.
Franklin County Sheriff's Office was investigating the theft of a Donzi boat from over in Franklin County, and they developed a suspect that they believe to be residing at the Rustic Sands Campground.
Mexico Beach police officers approached the camper believed to be occupied by the potential suspect.
As he came to the door, he was armed. He did, according to witnesses, pointed the gun at the officers.
And then you hear pop, pop, pop.
Mexico Beach police firing their weapons at the armed man.
He was transported to Bay Medical, where he was pronounced deceased.
One resident says everyone normally knows everyone in the area, but since Hurricane Michael, that's changed.
Well, I mean, with the hurricane and everything, you can't really regulate. You know, people just travel through and park for a night or something like that. It's normally safe.
But now she says,
I'm moving. That's too much.
Now, this small community has been buzzing all day, and hearing from residents, I learned the suspect was living here with his girlfriend, but they just checked into this campground only 2 days ago and allegedly was scheduled to leave tomorrow. Now, again, that suspect in this shooting has passed away from his injuries, and the officer involved in the shooting is on paid administrative leave. Now, I spoke with Chief Anthony Kelly here in Mexico Beach, and he says they're going to be increasing their patrol in the area. Now, Florida Department of Law Enforcement is investigating the matter. We're live in Mexico Beach. Kayla Tucker, News 13, Panhandle Strong. A 10-foot tall clock normally sits at the corner of Harrison Avenue and Beach Drive in downtown Panama City. But after receiving damage in Hurricane Michael, it's taken the trip to Pennsylvania. The law firm of Harrison, Rivard, Duncan, and Bazette is the home to more than just attorneys. On their building used to sit a grand clock.
The steel braces that hold it onto the building were broken, and it was blown probably about 20 feet or so from its location.
The firm sent the clock to its original manufacturer in Pennsylvania for repairs. Making the trip of 1,000 miles, this clock is now measuring distance.
When I called and told them that we had damage, the guy that answered the phone there in Pennsylvania said, "Oh, I know all about the clock, even from many years ago."
Hard to forget and hard to miss, the timepiece is a help to all who may pass it.
So it'll be good to get it back and operational, and everybody can unfortunately get to work and school on time. No more excuses as soon as we get it back on the wall.
Once back in place, Harrison thinks it will serve as a piece of encouragement as well as time.
It's representative, I think, of the damage, downtown. It's an important fixture for whether everything is okay or not.
The clock is expected to be back in place this fall, but until then, Harrison has this message for the community.
Time keeps on ticking, ticking, ticking into the future.
Kayla Tucker, News 13, Panhandle Strong. On Tuesday, this crime scene investigations van was parked outside of a home in Springfield after reports of a fatal shooting. But now we're learning the suspect may also be a victim. A dispute between a boss, Travis Presley, and an employee, Anthony Green, ended in death.
Mr. Presley arrived at the residence where his company was doing work Once he arrived, Mr. Green retrieved a firearm from his vehicle.
Roberts says the witnesses they interviewed said something was off about Green all day.
He confronted Mr. Presley at the back side of the residence at the back door, actually had the pistol in his hand.
He says it was that moment when Presley told police he was, quote, in fear for his life.
He fired a total of 3 rounds, striking Mr. Green 2 times.
Green died from his injuries at Bay Medical, but Roberts says they can't charge Presley with anything just yet.
Florida law also allows for conditions such as justifiable homicide, where you may be defending your own life.
Police also learning the company and its employees, Presley Construction, are based out of Alexander City, Alabama. Chief Roberts says they have turned the case over to the state attorney's office for further review to see what charges, if any, will need to be filed. Kayla Tucker, News 13, Panhandle Strong.